So let's talk about Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney is basically your white girl next door. She is. She was asked by American Eagle to pose in jeans, and their slogan was "Sydney Sweeney has good genes." Now, by the way, Beyonce has posed in jeans. I think she did the Levi's ad. No criticism at all. Black woman in jeans, no problem. And of course, had Sydney Sweeney been a big fat, beached whale with a nose ring and a mustache and blue hair, there would be not an eyebrow raised. In fact, this is the encouraged mode of modeling in the 21st century. We're seeing a kind of campaign of cultural uglification. And as I mentioned in my conversation yesterday with the comedian Tim Young, yes, I mentioned that we're seeing the uglification of buildings, the uglification of stewardesses, the uglification of a lot of things in our society. Even by and large, actresses in movies these days aren't pretty. They just don't look good. It's almost like there's a deliberate effort to make them look, if not average, so many times below average. Like there's something a little bit disturbing about this person's face, and we're so used to this. In fact, watching commercials these days, it's almost offensive to see the way in which they try to go against traditional images of America. It's anti-American, the whole thrust of it. So the Sydney Sweeney thing is a way to cut the other way. And of course, there is a implied, I don't think that the ad company that was doing this was going for this, but there's an implied pun on the word genes. Sydney Sweeney has good genes. But I think that could be taken in a very benign sense. She has good genes in the sense that she looks good. Her genetic structure is good. But of course, from the left's point of view, this is their deconstruction, their demystification. I'm quoting now from MSNBC. Sydney Sweeney ad shows an unbridled cultural shift toward whiteness. Whoa. Well, first of all, if there's a cultural shift toward whiteness, I think this is a good idea. I'm a little sick myself of seeing that basically we're living in a country where 70% of people are white. And yet, if you look at commercials, you think we were living in the Congo. Or you think we were living like in Brazil. Why? Because the non-whites predominate. And even if there's an occasional white in an ad, it's usually a stupid person who's being instructed by a black woman about how things really are. How do I find the right detergent? Well, guess what, sister? You need to use this. So this is the prototype of our advertising, and it's just so sickening and so blatant. So Sydney Sweeney is just a way of cutting the other way, and all the diatribes against her are just so crazy. A trauma surgeon has a video on X. Sydney Sweeney's ad is xenophobic. It's racist. It's scientifically inaccurate. What's inaccurate about it? And by the way, you might have seen recently an ad that is, by the way, bombing big time. It's the ad for Jaguar. Look it up if you haven't seen it. But it's basically strange people who look like they're from another planet. Most of them are black. And the ones who are white look like they are aliens. They look like they're from like Mars or Uranus. And evidently Jaguar's point is these are the people who need to be driving our cars. So not normal people, but these strange people from another place, if not another universe. And sure enough, Jaguar sales take a nosedive. And by the way, American Eagle, which is the Sydney Sweeney company, their stock is up 24, almost 25% since the ad.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.